Welcome back to r/NPD, the series where we review posts from the Narcissist support group subreddit and offer to the anonymous individuals of the site professional support. I'm Sophia Vandermeer, published author, NLP practitioner and cognitive behavioural specialist. So without further ado, let's jump in. User seek 3R post. Unironically, a snowflake. Lol. So everyone knows about this right-wing, more like just retarded, talking point of someone being a special little snowflake, sensitive and fragile. I just realised that's exactly what I am, and I'm recounting 3 instances of what I perceived as aggressions in social settings, which eventually led to complete social withdrawal from my part. Mind you, I still think these people were callous or uncaring, but apparently that's how even friends tend to be, and I'm the odd cuz. I can't take it. Society generally acts like destroying the self-esteem of people with words and humiliating them in front of others isn't a crime. But it does change the victim's mind for the worst and will lead to violence, either as self-abuse or outward aggressions. So I guess it comes down to 2 points. Are you taking offence where there is none intended and therefore creating injury to oneself? You can determine if this is indeed the effect if you perceive yourself as a victim more and more. NPD, particularly the fragile introverted type, can take injury on board and react in a way that avoids all communication or attempted understanding. Without the ability to access any degree of empathy beyond the cognitive, narcissists are often forced to act in a manner which, if not by others, they internally interpret as fake. So who is judging who and who is accurate? The second point is that if indeed said people are giving offence, you then need to make a decision with how much involvement you want to have with them. If they are related and giving them zero attention, then the grey rock approach may be more beneficial. What that means is treat them with as much interest as a very boring grey rock and don't provide supply to rude, obnoxious and cruel behaviour. There is no excuse that this is a sign of the times. The only thing we really have control of, indeed, is our behaviour and how we make someone else feel. In a more personal approach to the remainder of the OP's post, while it may be the case that the people with which you associate are toxic, though I'm loath to use that word, blaming others for the way you act is a very NPD trait. Narcissists, though basing their perspective often on physical evidence, will use that same thought process to remove blame from themselves by misinterpreting said evidence. In this case, looking for an out will give you one. A crooked cop following around a car looking for an infraction will soon enough find a damaged taillight, or else they'll break it themselves. Bottom line, you can't blame others. What does this mean for the OP? Well, you have a choice. Look inward and see how your response is. Are you being mature, communicating that said comments are unjustified, or are you taking offence and therefore inadvertently giving offence? If this is the case, then work needs to be done on oneself. However, if said friends are indeed displaying such behaviour and is now evident that this is becoming more and more destructive, it's a time to move away. Just as they have full responsibility for their behaviour, as do you with your response. How effective is acting the victim working for you? Seems to me that finding a better coping strategy would have more benefit in the long term.